Okay guys, so this is the Raygun holder, stand, carry case, slash mystery box. So this is wide and long enough to fit the Raygun with a few inches of clearance. That's why the mystery box is extra wide, just so I can hold the Raygun. All this was purchased at Bunnings Warehouse, except for this clip here. I had to do some online to get a clip that is sort of similar to the actual game. So this here was just, it's fully functional, it works the way it should. And yeah, most of this was all painted with a rustic look to give it a bit more aged look. It's all made out of treated pine, except for the bottom, which is plywood. It's a good thickness, it's strong, it's solid, as well as the rope too. I ended up specifically learning how to tie some knots to make it so they wouldn't come loose. So yeah, let's get to it. So open it, simple latch. You open it like that, you got the textures from the game again. From the game it's actually reversed from the top. These bolts here are the to hold the stand that the Raygun sits on. So let me just open that up to you. So you can see that folds backwards and then up. You'll find this piece of padding just to hold it down. This piece mainly just holds the whole of it from jumping up and down, so you remove that. So as you can see, the padding's all fitted. The sides are foldable, but if you have them fixed, I can leave them like that. So back here you'll find all the components, screws, screws and some other stand. These bits are actually the bits that hold the Raygun. This Raygun sits on top of. And then you got the L brackets to hold the actual mystery box up to stop it from falling over due to the weight of the Raygun. So these again have been painted an old rustic look, just to match the box rather than shiny silver brand new. So I'll put them aside for now. So as you can see at the back, you can see the knots that are holding the ropes, and I also, if you can see back there, there's a little hole. I'll show you at the back, I'll show you that later. So the Raygun itself, all the foam is fitted, so it's glued in there in place, so the Raygun won't really move around as you move the box. So let's take that out. So then we've got the Raygun out of it, so that's what the padding looks like. Okay, with the padding Raygun removed, we now have just the padding. So I'm going to go ahead and put that back in there. So the first thing to do to set up is to put on the L brackets. There are specific screws for specific holes. Each hole is pre-drilled. The screws itself there are 4 long ones there for the back. They actually go down towards here, making it a nice solid, so that keeps that held down in place. And then you've got 4 smaller screws, and these will go into this first piece that actually stop it. Make sure it doesn't protrude through the other side of the wood, because otherwise you get a bad effect. And what that will do is just hold that in place to stop the Raygun or the box from falling over when the Raygun's on it. So I'm going to go ahead and put them on. The screws are already pre-drilled, so I'm just going to go ahead with a screw and just twist them in. The tops of the screws have also been painted with this rustic look to blend in. So now that's set in place, what you're going to do is remove these bolts again. Now I ended up getting some threaded inserts and putting them into the wood, so getting the bolts in and out will be fairly easy. The bolts themselves had to be shaved down because they were too long for the 19 thick mil pine. And what you're going to do then is just thread the bolt through the hole and then into the base. So You only have to do it hand tightened because it's strong enough it'll stay on there, as well as these pieces here are made out of steel, bent and fitted, and then they have this sort of padding on it to stop the steel coming in direct contact with the ray gun, stop any chipping or any scratching that might occur. Once both sides are in, you can then lay your ray gun on top and not have to worry about if it can take the weight or not, because these are steel, and with the screws in place it's very strong and it can hold the ray gun. So that there is a mystery box, and then if you want to turn it on, you're going to have to reach over this side, press the button, and then if you want to power up via cord, such as this, what you're going to have to do is then thread it around the back. Now there's a little hole in the back here specifically for this cord, so what you're going to do is just thread it in through there, and then from there you take the cord. Once you've got the cord, if you realise at the bottom of the ray gun it's got the input right here, so simply enough just plug that in and then put that back. So if you want to take it apart and put it back in the box, simply just follow the steps in reverse that I've showed you, and yeah, that's how you display the ray gun and, well, get it ready for display.